Hi, my name is Erin Martin Post, and I'm one of the data advocates at Shipyard. In this video series, our goal is to put together some common questions and their answers that we've seen come up in our own community and other data-oriented communities. So for today's question, I want to talk about who is data orchestration for? This was something I wrote about recently in a blog article on Shipyard's website, but I wanted to expand it into a video because I think it's really important. A lot of times when we talk about who does this, that, or the other in the data space, we start bringing up job titles. This is for data analysts, this is for machine learning engineers, data scientists, analytics engineers. There's so many of these titles, and many of them have overlap in terms of what skills they actually know. When it comes to who is data orchestration for, I could tell you a number of the job titles that it's for, but I don't think that's really helpful. What's important is that it's for people with a certain skill set. So most of the other tools in the data orchestration space that aren't Shipyard, you have to know how to write code. Typically that's going to be Python code, but there's also things that are done in a YAML format or something else. You also need to know how to write APIs or webhooks. You have to have knowledge of something like Git for version control, and a lot of other skills that lean more toward the technical end of things. Shipyard is a, not no code, but it's no code or like low code tool. And what that does is it really opens the door to some other titles or skill sets that you wouldn't typically see. Shipyard has a lot of low code blueprints that have the code baked into them for you. So you, as someone who's a business user or not technical at all, can actually see what the heck does your data team work on when they're talking about a data pipeline. I don't at all recommend that you try and do data orchestration without two things at minimum. And these are more knowledges instead of skills. So one of them is going to be data storage. This could be in a cloud platform. This could be, wherever. Where does your company keep their data? This will help you understand where to find the data you want to orchestrate in the first place, and then also how it's organized. Also, what level of granularity is it at? Meaning, is it showing the finest level of detail of every single entry, or is it some sort of aggregated table, which will definitely affect then how you orchestrate the rest of the pipeline. And then the second skill that you should really understand is data modeling. So this is important because if you don't understand how data is modeled, meaning how does one table in your platform, wherever your data is, relate to another table? Typically, you're going to set up some sort of join, some sort of logic that helps you understand these are how everything's related to one another. If you don't have a good understanding of that, sometimes you create joins that don't make sense, which can eventually in your pipeline lead to things like overcounting or misattributing certain fields in key performance metrics, and you don't want that. So if you have a grasp of data modeling and if you have a grasp of where your data is stored, all you need to do is have some credentials and access to Shipyard's low-code blueprints, and then by that logic, data orchestration can be for you. You could also write code in Shipyard and of course other data orchestration tools, and really that's just a bonus. That's an add-on. It allows you to do a lot of customizable things that you couldn't do with only low code. So while there is a core of skills you should have to be able to do orchestration, definitely it never hurts to learn more, because then it just opens the doors of more options that you have. So that's it for today's video. Check out some of our other videos in this series to answer even more questions.